What's up everybody, Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video, and in this video we're going to get a little insight into the new ranked mode that is going to be dropped into Valorant that is actually heavily incorporated with potential path to pro. And if you're interested in climbing the Valorant ladder and becoming a pro player one day, you're going to want to watch it to the end. But go to the GameLeap website right now for in-depth tips, tricks, and so much more. We have tons of advanced guides made by Immortal and Radiant level players, so do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below. Now, Riot actually has been teasing a 5v5 ranked competitive mode that is going to be placed in-game for quite some time. While we don't know the full information about what it's going to look like, we did get some insight in this article released by Riot called The Future of Competitive Valorant, where it not only lays out the future for what competitive Valorant is going to look like, but is also breaking down what this new mode is going to mean for the majority of us and what is Valorant going to look like in the future, because it's taking a heavy step into not only esports, but the path to pro, and now's the time to get on the grind. But let's jump right in. Now first they had this to say: thanks to our players and fans, Valorant is today's fastest growing esport. Between the nail-biter overtimes and the ever-evolving meta, the brimstone crumbling anime fight scene music videos, we're off to an exciting start. We're just scratching the surface of Valorant's competitive potential, so in 2023, we're introducing major evolutions to the Valorant competitive ecosystem that will create an even better player and fan experience, and will propel Valorant to become the #1 competitive FPS in the world. Now, their plan is to make Valorant a multi-generational sport and go into the future of FPSs as the top #1 FPS, and this is how they're going to do it. First off, they are going to have global events that raise the bar. Unforgettable global events that combine spectacle with top-tier competition to create lifelong memories. This seems like it's something similar to Worlds, really big spectacle, having live music, and maybe even we'll see a World Cup or something like that where regions compete against each other. There's a lot of potential with this one in particular. Of course, they're also going to do brand new premier level international leagues, 3 new leagues where the best teams will actually play against each other and qualify for global events. So more huge tournaments, expanded domestic and game changer leagues, which is an expansion of the Challengers and Game Changer system to cover more players in more countries and regions. And this is very, very important because it ties directly into the last thing, which is deep connection to the in-game competitive experience. More opportunities for any player to qualify for pro play via a new in-game competitive mode. You heard me right, not only is this new mode that is going to be introduced, the tournament mode in Valorant, not only is it going to be something that is different and fun to play, but you're going to be able to qualify for real events just by playing in said tournaments. Now, this is absolutely insane for a number of reasons, but before we get into that, let's read what they said about the new Path to Pro. Quote, a Path to Pro accessible to every player right inside Valorant. Sometimes it's not enough to watch. If you got the skills, it's time to play. In the future, a new in-game competitive mode will give every player a chance to feel like what it's to compete as a professional, and an opportunity to work towards that dream. Top-ranked teams will be given the chance to qualify in their respective domestic leagues and take a step on their path to pro. We're excited to see how the system will help foster and highlight up-and-coming talent in addition to the standard ranked ladder. Who knows, it could be you we see on stage. Now, this is actually working to solve one of the biggest problems that happens in any esport, and it's the path to pro, or rather getting players that are really good to actually bridge the gap between a pro player, because it's a lot harder than you think. As someone who talks to a lot of players and teams frequently, I know that it can be incredibly frustrating trying to make it from that tier 2 or tier 3 up into someone that is known, because getting known is the very, very difficult part. Let's say you build a team and all of you are very, very good. Oftentimes you need multiple actual good resume performances in tournaments, and you build up a actual quote-unquote pro resume where you've done decently well at enough tournaments, and you hope that that gives you a tryout to go jump to another team in the future, a team that is more known, an org that backs you with money, and then from there you play with better players, you go against better teams, and then maybe you'll make it somewhere. but it takes a lot, right? It takes you to find a team that is good in the first place. It takes you not only just performing well, but performing in the right events to show off your skills and doing well enough in those to actually get yourself an opportunity on another team, which may or may not happen. And then, of course, you need a certain amount of connections. Someone like Trent FPS, for instance, which he kind of blew up recently on scene. He had to reach out to, I don't even know, hundreds of different people to get that freaking tryout to prove his skill, even though he was already very, very good, even though he already had a lot of actual performances to back him up. He really still had to reach out to like 1 million people in order to get that one opportunity. And this is such a more streamlined way, and it bridges the gap between great players and the tier 3, tier 2, and tier 1 potentially, with giving teams the ability to qualify and actually potentially even qualify for tournaments that will make them money, which further justifies the path to pro. I think all of this combines together to push the dream, and that's something that every esport needs to do, and many of them have done it very poorly. But I think if they do this well, it will help sell the dream better than just about anything, where players that are on that cusp from just being good, right? When you get to Immortal, you realize that you're not good, you're just at the starting line. And in order to make the transition, in order to becoming a really good player, climbing all the way to Radiant, climbing past that, getting the actual scrim experience, working together, learning certain skills that is going to help you in a scrim environment, and then eventually trying to pursue the path to pro, it's a lot. And you need some sort of justification, right? It's not something that you can just do overnight, and it's not a steady incline either. Oftentimes, players will hit a wall where they have to invest tons of time and hours scrimming, playing, working, trying to improve, and a lot of these esports give you no promises or no help as far as pushing players to the next level, and it seems like this will be that help that you need, and I'm incredibly excited. And in addition, they give us more information about the future things they're going to be doing with pro play in general. So they're also going to have a new fan experience where they say new ways to support and celebrate your favorite teams within Valorant. With this evolution of our ecosystem will come the ability to support your favorite teams while watching or playing. We want to give you more ways to flex your fandom. More details to come later this year. Now, this obviously means some sort of skins where you could get weapon skins potentially for your teams, but the big thing that I want to see, this is something that Halo Infinite did right, one of the few things in my opinion, is they tied a percentage of the revenue from the team sales and gave that to the orgs themselves. So imagine if you buy, I don't even know, an optic skin because they just freaking won and they're cracked. You buy a certain skin for a weapon, and the orgs themselves actually get paid out. They get paid out a percentage of it. Maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 50%. I don't really care. Regardless, with how much revenue the skins generate, paying out some of that to the orgs, that could also cascade down to the players. You could also pay out a percentage of it to the players as well. That could be a way that a lot of orgs want to invest more and more into Valorant, and Valorant could really grow into the biggest esport we have ever seen. There's a lot of potential here, and yeah. I'm really excited about this article. I'm really excited about seeing the full tournament mode, but definitely let me know how you feel about all this down below. Tell me what you want to see in the future mode and how excited are you about Pro Valorant. Let me know, but if you want to climb and dominate, get a leg up on your competition, go to the GameLeap website where we have tons of pro meta analysis, tips and tricks and guides that will help you gain the skills to climb the ladder with ease. Do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below.